Alright, so I wanted to film a quick video of this one. I know this is a common problem that a lot of people have with these older sunroof issues. This one here is a 2007 Cadillac SRX. This particular one has what's called the UltraView Moon/Sunroof. It's basically a panoramic sunroof that's the entire length of the vehicle. But the issues we were having on this one is the sunroof would not open. Basically what would happen is you'd start the car, go to hit the switch here would do nothing, the glass wouldn't pop up, there'd be no movement whatsoever. We did notice though that when you hit the switch to go backwards, nothing would happen, but you could push the glass up manually and get it to pop up. But we couldn't get it to actually slide back at all. And then when you push the forward, we didn't have any movement either, but at the very end, it would actually pull the glass down and seat it down. So we were trying to diagnose that. So the way you go about that, the way you really get into this sunroof here, is what you're going to want to do is, usually it's easiest to kind of stand on the back tire here. You can get a good foothold there. But if you get up on the back tire, what you're going to see is 3 panels of glass. You've got a rear panel, you've got a middle panel, and then you've got your front sunroof moonroof panel. This one here is going to be the panel that you're trying to work on, so you got to start here in the middle. This section of glass is just seated down, and it's secured by 5 Torx screws right across the top. There'll be a piece of weather stripping. You just pull back that weather stripping just a little bit to uncover the screw head, and you can take out each one of those screws as the first step one. And basically that panel of glass will lift up just a little bit and slide out this way. So you'll lift it up and slide it out forward because it's got some tabs here that kind of hook under this and under here to hold it in place on this side. So once you get that glass out of the way, you can pull that off, and then you've got your 2 motors here. One of them is going to be your motor to operate your cover, your sunshade. That's going to be this one here. And then the one on the passenger side is going to be your actual sunroof motor that's going to control the opening and closing of the sunroof. The way you can kind of tell is they're actually labeled too. You can see here this one says front sunshade B, and this one here is labeled where it says front glass. So what you're going to want to do is take a look and see if your motor has any issues. The first thing to do would be to take the 3 screws out of the motor. There's one here, and one here. Those 3 Torx screws come out. Wiggle the motor back and forth just a little bit and pop it up. Take a look inside. Make sure that your lines are moving freely, that there's no nothing caught, or that there's no issue with the motor gearing. And one way you can kind of check that is if you use a Allen bit, a hex bit that's the same size as this right here, you can manually turn this with a screwdriver and just check the operation of the motor, make sure the gears aren't broken in here and that there's no problem with the actual lines, the cables here that control the motor. So as long as all of that is good, I'll show you the issue that we found. So the issue on this window is it wouldn't move at all, and it appears that it's an issue with the track. The way I found it was once I had the sunroof taken off completely, and the way you do that is if you can get the sunroof to pop up just a little bit. In our case, we had to hit the button to make it come back a little bit and manually push the sunroof upwards, and when you do that, you can get access to the screws from the side. There'll be 4 screws, one in the front here, driver side, passenger, and then you'll have 2 in the back as well on these tracks back here. And those will basically just screw right into the glass from either side. So undo those 4 bolts and you can remove the entire roof panel. Then you've got your front tracks here. And if you can manually move them forward and back, it typically means that it's broken like these are. There shouldn't be any movement. You shouldn't be able to move these forward and back by hand because they should be controlled by the motor only. So it looks like in our case, the actual guides, the guide cables, they have a little plastic piece that connects to this arm. I know it's a little difficult to see inside of there, But if you look closely, you can see an arm back there, right down in there, and it connects to this plastic piece, which is basically a ring. And you can see when I slide, turn the key on, and if we hit the button here, you can see that it goes back, and it's not connected to the actual arm. It touches and picks up the arm there, but it won't bring it back because it is no longer connected to it. And in our case, it was the same on both sides. So we're gonna have to replace the entire track system and see if that fixes it. But I hope that helps anybody who's diagnosing this and trying to figure out what's going on with theirs. I'll make another video as soon as we have the new parts in.